Alright, so today we're going to go ahead and camouflage the side charging 6.5 Grendel that I built for the kids for a hunting rifle. I'm going to basically do it like I've done all my other previous ones, a little different. Instead of using vegetation like I have been, I've decided for this one I'm going to give it more of that snake skin type camo pattern. So I'm going to use some old burlap. This used to be last year's goose blind. So this is what we're going to need. Some type of carb cleaner, cleans all the oils off. Your paint, I have chosen this, these are my four that I always go with. It's basically a light green, an olive green, a sand, and this is like a dark earth. Not black. I do not go with black. Black is too dark. You need some type of knife. You have two types of tape here. This is painter's tape, and then this is a really good duct tape. If for whatever reason this doesn't work, I can go ahead and use the duct tape. You'll notice that these are cotton ball rounds. These are used by my wife to do her nails and makeup and whatever else. And what I use them for is I stick them in here on the actual scope lens before I put tape over it, so that way I don't get any adhesive on my lenses. Alright, and what I'm going to do is I'll probably use this for here and the actual duct tape on this bolt carrier, because you can see this is open. Normally I just close the dust cover and it's fine, but in this case I'm actually going to get down in there and tape all the way around that. And as you can see, I did put a magazine in there because this is the 5-round magazine that they'll be hunting with, and I want it to match the gun. Okay, so I got it all sprayed down, wiped it all off, got any of the oil residue off of it, including up here on the scope. Be careful, again, with your tape up there. Around the bolt here, I got it all taped up all the way to the edge the best I could. And when I pull this bolt out, anything that's left over I'll take off with acetone. So we are ready for our base coat. For my base coat, I'm going to go with tan just because it'll be the, it's what I have the most of. And we're going into the fall where we have a lot of gray, a lot of brown, so I'm going to use this as the base coat and then layer the other ones on top. So you'll see how it turns out. It turns out pretty good. Alright, so I went ahead and did the base coat, which is going to be tan. And the way you do this is it's nice, thin, long sprays back and forth. You want to get the bottom, you want to get the end, you want to get the top. What you don't want to do is just cake it on. Allow about 15 minutes to dry in between each one, and you want to do the four corners method. Basically, you're going to paint from left to right and switch over back and forth the entire way as you go along, and then back and forth the entire way as you go this way, and then top end. Otherwise, what you're going to end up having is beautiful gun, but then when you tilt the gun, you're going to start seeing dark spots on one side or what looks like shading because you missed a section as you go through. So if you go around and do nice thin layers on all four corners, it turns out really well. Alright, we give it about 15 minutes. And I went ahead and just basically looped it around. As you can see, I left it open here so you can see. All we do is you take the burlap and you just run it around. The closer it is, the more crisp the pattern. The farther away it is, the more hazy the pattern is. You don't want it all crisp and you don't want it all hazy. So what I do is I get some parts really close, like this here, right here, where you want, and then around here it's going to be a little hazier, and then I double it up on the handguard because the handguard typically is going to get a lot of coverage from all my ends. So what you do, see if I can do this one-handed, is you get your second coat and nice thin coat, and it may not look like any of the paint's actually getting through, but you'll be amazed at how much actually is making it. Now, you don't want to sit there and just hammer on the paint. You will get no tan left if you do it hard enough. but that may look like a lot, but honestly, you'll see what I'm talking about in the end. There'll be a lot of tan still left over. So now we're going to let this sit for about 15 minutes and add the next layer. Alright, so you can see I pulled off that original and I want some more detail. So what it is, I tore up a bunch of that and wrapped it really tight, and this will give me a nice crisp pattern as I go over it. Again, I don't want to hit everything. I'm just going to go along in strips. Hit the bottom here. A lot of tan in there. Try to keep the camera lens away from the paint. As a general rule, the nose of the gun I keep darker than the back of the gun. Alright, so let that dry another 15 minutes and then I'll show you how to do the last part, and then we'll flip it over and do the opposite side. And if you want this to last a lot longer, you can always clear coat it with a matte finish, clear coat. I find if you do that, it lasts and wears a lot better than just paint a lip. Alright, so far this is the pattern I've gotten. Kind of looks like that predator coyote hunting pattern that they have out there. And what I don't want is to use black, so I'm going to use the tan, or the dark earth brown, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I want to just put enough on it, kind of break that up. It turns out really, really good. So this is how easy it's going to be. I'm going to layer a few over, and I'm going to keep them really tight. And then I'm going to just spray patches. I'm just where I want it. I'm not going to cover the whole gun. I'm just going to put maybe a couple strips over it in like the lighter areas, like here, maybe up here, probably up at the top there. Just to darken it up and just break out what's left. It's just going to be a section by section, quick spray, move, quick spray, move, and then wait 15 minutes. We'll flip it over and do the opposite side.
One more spot. Across. There. Alright. As you can see,
all over the camera. This is what you come out with. Not too bad. Now let me do the other side. Alright, and this is the finished product. Now, as much as you want to handle this whenever you actually get it all done, what you really need to do is put it away and just let it sit for about a week. Let all that paint cure up. Even though it's dry, the paint isn't to its full hardness for probably another week. But that is the pattern I'm going with. We're going to be hunting off the ground. with no blind, using multicam like I did last year. So get him behind some brush with the leaves hanging down, and I think we'll be okay for youth season. But that is how to camouflage your AR. And I still got plenty of paint over to change it if I want. I can make it more green, keeping it more of a lighter color. As the day gets darker, as you can see, it goes into a shadow. The gun looks darker if you start off with a really dark color. So it does work, trust me. Blends in really good. It's great for predator hunting, but at a fraction of the cost.